Hey Capricorn. Sorry I did not get to your reading last month. I was on and off, very under the weather and had a lot of exhaustion, so I didn't want to push myself. As a cardinal sign, that can be very difficult because that's what we want to do. If you relate, just know it was not easy for me. I tried, but it was not worth it. And so I just want to give you the best I can right now. All information to work with me one-on-one is below, as well as the extended version to this reading is in the first link below, where it's on Patreon. And we go further into the cards and into the rest of the month. And the lunar eclipse has been coming up a lot, so toward even into Scorpio season. This month, be very selective engagement. Selective engagement in terms of the power dynamics. You may notice quite a few this month, and maybe even unexpected, out of nowhere. But are they out of nowhere? Maybe for you, but maybe not for the other person. You may have to be on the receiving end of that and then decide what that means for everything moves forward. As your relationship moves forward, as the dynamic moves forward, it may be in your hands or it may be in theirs, all depending on what side you're on. So I just kind of want to give that. And there's no cards out yet, so some very specific message is coming to you, I do believe, Capricorn. Maybe indecision of all months, right? Surprise. I have talked about this in every reading, so we're going to continue down the line. Sometimes decision making for Libras is because they don't have every single piece in check. Very superficial thing, but when I shop anywhere, mostly online, if I'm actually looking for something, not specifically, but just really looking to find some inspiration or try something new, I'll look through every section. I want to see everything before I decide. And that can be exhausting. I'm the first one to say it. That can be exhausting, but you're also, there's nothing you want to give up, but there's something that you need to let go of. And this can be in terms of relationships, but it's also taking your mind in a direction that may be unexpected. This transit, Venus in Leo, has given you a lot to look at. A lot of prospective outcomes, but then where you may be very attached to the outcomes that have happened in dynamics that you've seen growing up or all your past dynamics, right? This is a great time to sever ties or become or reconcile with parts of you or different, what we call in the energy world is different energetical links and cords. You can believe them or not, but they do feel real. And when someone is coming up in your mind, or if you're moving your body and all of a sudden this person or a situation comes up, they could be taking your focus away from what's really important in your life. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can be a romantic and say maybe this is the person, and then you finally just express yourself, but that's going to be very far and few between. Of course, it's a romantic time, but the romantic thing about this time for you is being able to be sure and decide that this is really the way you want to go and how you want to move forward and how you want to carry your power forward. Because you may feel that this is leaking into other situations where you feel like you may not have your power. And the truth is, it's because something else is constantly pulling at you and your attention, speaking from experience, that you may need to go into that visualization, see that cord, and make it a ritual, right? You can try this around. This could be also something that just breaks away around the 14th anyway. And into the season, you realize that the more that you give energy to this, the more that even if there is justice, you may not even be able to see it. And even if there is fairness, you may not be able to see it. So yeah, you may be weighing it out, but then Libra season and you engaging with the season in a way where it's well, where could this actually go? What am I actually doing with this? And here you are. It's because whatever that you've held onto up until this point, whether they're ideas you haven't tried or certain projects you haven't finished, or these things that come up in your mind that you pay a lot of attention to, because whether you know this or not about Capricorn, is that they are thinkers. They're not just doers. There is, especially about your emotions, especially how this relates to your mentality this month. And this is for you to decide who you are, how you move from here, how this affects how you go about making decisions and taking chances or not, or what ideas that you just need to let go of, or ideas or parts of yourself that are not doing you justice. They're not giving you life. They're taking away, almost making you pull back in a way that's not actually helpful to a Capricorn's nature. We know that you're disciplined, but this month, what do you want to be disciplined to? What is the structure made of? Where can you, now that Virgo season has opened up these different windows and cracks and crevices, what do you want to put there? What do you want to see grow through the next 6 months? What do you want to see come alive? What do you want to see really, you can maybe even see it and feel it within you, that you know this seed, this intention will make an impact, and you feel it. And you let yourself be in love with this moment. Be grateful for this moment, for this temporary nature that only lasts so long, and then we enter winter, where things then become cold. Let yourself have these experiences where you say how you feel, because no matter which way you play it out in your head, you don't know what's going to happen. This isn't maybe in your nature, and now it's brought to your attention to make it a part of your nature. Sorry, my little shirt looks funny. Okay. It shows you how you handle certain experiences as well, and how you've handled, in certain situations may come up where you're like, oh, I handled shit like that. And this month you get to be like, I don't know if that's how I want to handle things anymore. I don't think that's not how and maybe you get some feedback from someone. Maybe someone tells you like, this is how you are. And you're like, oh, I didn't realize I was perceived that way. You could decide to care or not. It's up to you. A lot will be brought to your attention. A lot will be sifted through. Mainly what you act on and how you choose to do that is what is really out there and in the air. I'd say more than anything. Yeah. From Libra season to Scorpio season, it's just about this specific transformation, change that that's coming to a head. It's now the climax. You're revealing yourself. You're out here. You are being seen by and perceived, and you're taking it into account. You're not afraid. You don't have this demeanor of I don't give a fuck because you're afraid anymore. It's because you realize that everyone has these moments. That as personal as it is, it's also very, it's common. And you realize where maybe your power has been taken in your mind, and where ideas or things that can grow, or relationships that have the ability to grow and have that equal want to grow, equal value to grow. That's what you want to go towards, because if you don't, you're just letting yourself down. You just gotta, you're not someone who will go into something wanting to change someone, but you're hoping they'll want to change because that's something that you believe in. And I'm not saying in like the ways that everyone wants change, but you want to see growth and prosperity and wealth, and you want to grow and build and make yourself known in your own way. It doesn't have to look at any way to others, but you want to get better at whatever you're doing or whatever you're achieving or wherever you're going. You want what is fulfillment to you. You want to be able to grow what you're building. You want to see it prosper. You want to see it, your family. You want to see, but you also want to be able to be known for it. And listen, everyone's getting an ego check. How you go about doing that makes that substance stronger or not. It makes it more relatable or not, right? You don't have to go one way or the other, but this month is full of choices, full of options and decisions. The one thing you can't decide, not to be so poetic, is that you're going through a change. You're coming out of that change. You're going to be seen. Some of you might make a scene. Bottom of the deck. Look at this. It's your confidence that leads the way. Your confidence in who you are, what you've grieved, what you've realized. We'll get more into that into the second part. And how this even impacts your intuition and even just your interest within that. We'll get more into that into the second part. Your magic, your true magic will be revealed this winter in a way that I just hope you see as a loving, even if it's going to make you feel like different parts of you need to be more diminished. I hope that you feel the love from the divine and from hopefully your loved ones around you and those who really love you. And to take your power back in these ways. They're unseen, but not really. We'll see you in the next part, Capricorn.